Greetings, everyone. It is Dynasty Mir Search for a Guru. Thank you so much for joining us. As we always do, before we get started, we just want to thank you all for the support. Thank you all who have supported Search for a Guru over these years, and then also to our Care Bars partners. Thank you so much for the support and being a part of Team Fitzgerald Stevens and Dynasty Mir. Make sure you guys go to dynastymir.com. Again, make sure you guys go to dynastymir.com while you're there. Grab some books and grab the world famous.
It is world famous.
Sales Motivation 101, Get Off Your Butt and Cold Call, written by yours truly, the critically acclaimed sales book. Go ahead and grab a copy. Also, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the content and join the email list while you're at dynastymir.com. And patreon.com, search for Guru. Become a monthly Patreon, patreon.com, search for Guru.
Hey, let me stop for a second, Prince, because I hear you talk about that. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you and your families are doing incredible. Tell us a little bit more about that Patreon channel. You just blast over that, man. And what is a Patreon? Why would what is the benefit for us for listeners checking you out on that? I mean, talk to us.
No, I think what Patreon does, my viewers, my people who support, I mean, I thank you guys for coming on and watching the content. But at the same time, for us to do what we do, it costs money. When I travel to Africa and people are like, Dynasty, man, I love what you do in Africa. I want to learn more about this. I want you to visit this tribe. I want to learn about this opportunity. That stuff costs money. So not only can you super chat when you guys are watching the shows, for those who are Care Bars partners, thank you so much for that as well. With Patreon is more of a recurring monthly service where you not pledge, you contribute a certain amount every month. And, that helps pay the bill so we can continue to do what we do. Again, the financial aspect is very important. And, I think what the issue was when I first started, we had this attitude or this mindset that woke equals broke. Oh, you travel to Africa, you're conscious, you shouldn't be asking for money. You should be doing it for the people. Do it for free for the people, for the love, for the people. And it's like, no, there's expenses. Right. And then when we look at our leaders, who people love to quote and love to reference their books, whether it be Amos Wilson, John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, I mean, for the most part, they all died broke. So financial support is important, and I'm not going to be shy about that. So Patreon, if you enjoy what I do, if you appreciate what I do, if what I do has made an impact on your life, then I'm going to be quite honest. Put your money where your mouth is, so we can continue to grow and make this possible.
That's fair. Like I often, not often, but time to time, I will get solicitations from Wikipedia. Well, Wikipedia is like an online encyclopedia.
Right.
As far as they have ran that program pretty much free. And lately they start asking for donations, and rightfully so. I mean, they provide incredible content. I've used them several times. So you can donate from anywhere from $2 to $3, $5, whatever, $100, whatever. Every little bit adds up because, like Prince Amir has so eloquently stated, that business requires money to operate. I mean, it takes him time to get this content out, right. and thank God that he's part of a conglomerate that the community that he works with. They will come there and donate their time. But let's say, like, for this gentleman, Phil, the owner of I think that's Diaspora channel, or Miss Callie Kagam with her channel. They could easily charge to make guest appearances. That's how networks do. That they have to pay those people to come on there. Well, Prince has if everyone knows everyone's side, they want to say, hey, I would I would like to get on this show, and he was saying like okay, well, this is my fee. Well, you have to do that. For example, Prince, could you just call up Grant Cardone and have him come on your platform?
I could try. Believe
Okay.
it's fine. It depends.
You got $5,000 in your pocket. How about that?
Not for Grant Cardone.
How about Les Brown?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Gary V.
Right.
No, these dynamic ET Earl Thomas.
Mm.
You know, and if so they come on, they're charging for their services. So this man brings incredible content. And no, we're not. This is not where the thing needs to go. But it's very, very important that we understand this. This man brings us incredible content day after day, and he's been doing several years. And many of us have benefit from this. You know, he has internet expenses. He has the lights aren't free. The content isn't free. You know, to produce his merchandise isn't free to get to the public, and so he needs to be undergirded. And so we need to keep content like this on, and you know, and there, if you notice, he's not running any sponsored ads. It doesn't come on here. This is brought to you by Nestle or Nabisco.
But I'm going to start now.
You have to, because you know you're going to have support in order to stay on air. You can't stay on air. If you don't have support, you can't stay on the air. I have listened to this radio program for years. Called Through the Bible Radio, and they have an interesting concept. They'll open up in a market, whether it be Indonesia or Nigeria or Australia, wherever, and they operate it, and they determine if they're going to keep that broadcast running in that area based on the support that they're getting. And I say support, I'm talking about financial support. If the viewers value the content, they're going to send something in, and let's talk about support. $2 here, $5 here, you know, $10 here, and many of you have already done that, you know, and I've done it. I sent the man support, you know, great, and we're and not we. This is his team, it's his channel. He is so appreciative of that. I know the man's heart, but you know, he's bringing a viable product. I mean, I see the comments from all over the world. Love what you do, whether they're coming from London, whether they're coming from the continent of Africa, from North America, includes United States and Canada. I've seen a comment came from Brazil, that's South America. Well, God, you know, it cost him to do that. So we need to get behind him, and you know, at least if not that, you know, at least buy a t-shirt or two, buy a book.
Right.
You know,
and that's something else I wanted to touch on, Fitzgerald. You know, also I offer tangible products. So buy a book, buy a children's book, buy a shirt. So, you know, I'm offering tangible products as well. So yeah, you know, I just want to put that out
sometimes Prince Amir, we can have a poverty mindset, and that we don't think is a poverty mindset. And I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm not going to use you, although this applies to your show. So you notice how I had to pull that out of my friend. Tell us what Patreon is. He didn't know that. This is totally unscripted, like a lot of stuff. Right. Because Prince has a trouble. He has a little thing. Sometimes he doesn't like to ask his worth. You know, let me explain.
You're right.
You know, he gets a little shy. He feels like he you know, he doesn't like to take the criticism, like many of us don't, because, like, you know, if someone accuses him, well, you should be giving it to free. You know, those words hurt. He takes those words to heart. So even though he needs that, even though he would need the support, so therefore, if he doesn't ask for the support, where does the support come from? Out of his own pocket. Out of his own pocket, in order to keep this up. You would say, and for those of you who would advocate, well, yeah, he should pay for it out of his own pocket. Well, if you think that, don't listen to his product. Don't listen to his message. If you're getting something out the message, and if he's bringing viable content to you, which I know he is, I've listened to his shows for some time now. I even went back in his archives and see some of the relevancies of his shows. And you know, if he's giving the contents out, and we're hitting those likes like we should, you know, it's nothing for you to, you know, send a $2, $10. super chat or buy a shirt or get one of the books to give it to someone who will help. So I'm making this because I feel that if I make this, I won't put my friend in an embarrassing situation where he'll feel like, hey, he's asking for help, but he needs the help. No, he needs the help. And it's nothing wrong with a man get paid for what he does or what he brings. I believe in that. Now, there's a movie called Batman, and the character was Joker, paid by Heath Ledger. And he made a quote I want you guys to really, really take in your heart. He said, if you're good at something, never do it for free. If you're good at something, never do it for free. He has done this. He has brought tremendous content, liking it with great, man. But it'll be good, man. Like, you know what, dude, here's a gram of gold. Appreciate what you're doing. Here's $5. No, let me get a t-shirt. Let me get an extra t-shirt because I can give it to my my mate, my significant other. Appreciate what you're doing. Let me get one of those books. Let me get a book for my niece or my nephew or my son. That doesn't cost anything. So I'm done with that. And Prince, what I want to do, man, is start becoming a monthly contributor onto your stream, and I'll just work it in like I do anything else. But money that I could be giving to you, dude, man, heck, I go down there and go to Publix and get black eyed peas too. So I can easily cut a couple black eyed peas out and send you that $10 a month too. So I want to get engaged in that. I ask each and every one of you this man is doing a vital service, and not only for his content, consider other contents, African Superstar, the Diaspora channel, the African Network. I mean, all these guys are putting out great content that I promise that you're not going to see on CNN. No. You're not going to see on Fox News. You're not even going to see on sometimes of Facebook and YouTube, because sometimes those guys have I should say YouTube, to Facebook, because sometimes those guys have censorship. They can filter. They can filter as far as what they do. So Dynas, let's stop being bashful about that. And little brother, this is nothing but an elder's wisdom here, not a rebuke. This is elder wisdom, and I am that to you. Listen, man, you put a good product out there. Sometimes you literally have people out there, I promise you, I'm talking to, well, I never thought of it like that. Or man, I would help him. All he had to do is let me know he had a need. And then so they would have supported you. They would have gave it to you. They thought, man, you had this. They thought you got this. And then you have other people like, I ain't gonna do anything. I'm just gonna take. Well, maybe they'll share this content with someone else who's not a taker, who will give something out. But often we gotta let people know and what we do. I believe my man runs about three different ISP addresses. He does dynasamir.com. He has to pay hosting fees for that.
Oh man, that's more than yeah. So
Fitzgerald, they has to pay hosting fees for that. Right. When he gets ready to do his books, he has to pay not hosting fees. He has to pay fees to get that product out. They just don't poof and give it to him. If he does with that T-shirt, he has to pay hosting fees. Fees for that, for them to do that. And everything costs. The last time I looked, and when I was on the show, I didn't see any. I didn't see that he had a black screen that he was talking to us from the dark. Except that time he's in Nigeria and we was making the show about 2:00 in the morning. But electricity, electricity come around in there, but host the other thing. This is what this man does full time. He's not working on some job. He's doing this. I know for a fact that he is out there doing sometimes two to sometimes 3 video a week. That's in addition to working his gold business, his freeway gold business. That's in addition to being a father, a single father. That's in addition to a lot of all those things, and with this platform, there's so many of us can do just a little that can add up to a lot. When I'm talking about little, and Patreon channel, consider getting on there like $5 a month. Let's just say you get 1,000 of those out of 85,000 subscribers. You know what that would mean to that man? And then he would be able to produce better contents, buy better cameras, probably have a studio building, and getting more computer networks, get a greater reach. To get the dust perpetuated, because it's not a matter of giving back to the community, man. This guy lives it. This guy lives it. How he is right now, when you see him on the air, I promise you, he's the exact same way as off the air. He's been the exact same way for the 15 years I've known him. He's never deviated from it. Most you get people who are a personality, and I consider him a media personality. Some of them I hear can be pretty much a joke, like or a jerk, like that. Like the interesting thing that's coming out by Miss Ellen DeGeneres, who I thought she was really great. I loved Elephant. Evidently, there's a lot of conflict in report. Right. People think she's not. I still think she is. I still think she is. I don't know, but a lot of conflicting things. So what I'm saying with this man, what he is, what you see right here is exactly who he is to me. Off there, it's exactly who he is when I first met him. But he's something like a 24-year-old kid. When I met him at my shop and when I was in Atlanta, it's the exact same guy. So Prince, hey man, let's get that out. Stop being apologetic for asking people who are dependent upon your content, who are learning from your content. Stop being apologetic and or shy to ask them for help. This is exactly what got us in business with the Carrot Bar business. This is exactly what got us with the problem with the Carrot Bar business, because you was afraid, to ask for help, and you turned out to be a dynamic thing as far as for you. So, your audience was looking for something this now with Freebay. So, man, you're doing it. You're doing it. You're bringing the channel. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a subscriber and I listen to his show much more, with just me coming on here. So that's all I want to say. My friend wouldn't have said it, so if I'm a friend of his, sometimes I'm going to, if you're a friend, sometimes you're going to say for your friend what he can't say or won't say for himself, because that's better for him. And if, that's a good thing for him. And if he's a genuine friend, if he does what you say, you're not taking he's not going to make you look bad. And I just want you guys to know that. And we appreciate that. We appreciate you so much. And thank you for hearing my appeal. But I'm Devil Dog serious. And, Dynas, I want to start off doing at least $5 a month for now, even upping it, to 10, and then hopefully get myself up when I'm doing something like $50 a month, just supporting you. I don't give a dang if you buy Windex for it. I could care less. But if what you're doing right here, the only thing I ask, just keep doing incredible content. What you're doing now, I don't worry about the money. It's not my business to try to tell you what you need to do with the money. It's going to come with no strings attached, man. Even if I got to start sending cash gold up there, but something where you can keep this incredible product on the air. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Fitzgerald. That means a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Residual bills, you need residual income.
Right. So Fitzgerald has actually spoken on this before, but I think right now, because of the times we're in now, I think I was like, Fitzgerald, we need to do another show on this. If you have residual bills, meaning your power bill, no matter what, okay, Georgia Power is going to send that bill because you're using that service every month.
Yes, indeed.
And, I hear people say, I'm going to go off the grid. Well, until you go off the grid, whatever that means, you're going to have to pay your bills, your power bill. Same thing with your water bill. Same thing with your internet, unless you hacked into your neighbor's internet and you're using their internet.
Yeah, splice the cables. When they up north, they would take the cable and do a splice and run it over to the other way.
Let me tell you something. So when I used to live in LA, my first apartment, I was in Koreatown off of 840 Serrano Avenue, and so what I did, like, people didn't leave their internet code or password or whatever
encrypted.
Unlocked. Yeah, they left it unlocked.
Yeah.
They didn't password. So there was this one particular network that I was trying to use because it was unprotected. They didn't have a password for it. So, but I guess it was still too far for me to get a strong signal. So I went and bought this signal booster, so I could strengthen the signal so I could use the internet. Right. So I go pay $40 for this signal booster, using it for like 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, they put a password on it.
Yeah, that we don't hear about much stuff like that in the that was like in some of the younger days of the internet revolution. That in the younger days is something like 2-3 years ago. That was the younger days. Now a lot of stuff is already encrypted, but I still don't pretty much take chances. As far as I keep encrypted code in my house all the time. And I'm thinking about it'll be great to put a 2F factor upon it. That's another layer of security where no one can really hack into it. Because being that business is really increased on the internet, and so will the need for security. So will the need for you to protect that. Now, so and you have to do that. I want you guys to think about it. So if you start getting into like you have like really sensitive documents on your computer or even in the cloud, it's to strongly consider really protecting and guarding that. Strongly protect, really protect that, because I mean, this right here, some guy say, let me see your phone. Dude, you might as well be asking to borrow my wife. I mean, shoot, I mean, there's personal stuff on that. You give me your phone. No, but for the most, a lot of cases, if people have asked me to use their phone, you know what I would do? I would dial it and hold it like this. I wouldn't release it from my hand. Mm-hmm. Just in case you want to, hold on, Fitzgerald. Yeah, just in case you want to become Utah Bolt. Hold on for a second.
Hold on. Okay. All right, guys, make sure you hit that like button again. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, go to dynastymirror.com again. Go to dynastymirror.com. Buy your books, buy your merchandise. Join the email list. Guys, I have some exciting news and some announcements in the next week or two. Again, we're expanding, and right now I'm focused on offering. What you got, Fitzgerald? What you got?
I have this neighbor, man, that loves me. Boy, she brings me good food.
What is that?
She told me, boy, she threw some lasagna on me. Man. Smelling good and everything like that. Young Polish lady over there, so so she wife of one of my friends over there and stuff like that. So she really takes care of me. So when that bell rang, man, I got to get up. Yeah, man. Prince, we're gonna have a great day, man. We're looking at some great things happening right here. Oh, let me start. Let me say this, and Prince, if I may interject in this real quick, while you're speaking. The Carrot Bars opportunity, great opportunity. The Carrot Bars opportunity is now freebie. Okay, for those of you who are already registered under Prince Amir, no big deal. Hey, it's now freebie, FREBAY. You simply log on to your Carrot Bars account, and then you're going to click a button. It's going to transfer all your information over to the freebie platform, which looks very surprisingly like Carrot Bars. If you have packages, don't worry, you're not losing that. You're not going to lose your rank. Your rank, as well as your team, is going to be transferred over on a freebie. What is freebie? Freebie is, we're still saving in gold. The gold cars now they call life cars, and then it's also doing a personal development as well as teaching us how to crypto trade. So I'm really excited about that. And so we have a lot of changes that's coming in, and a lot of changes that I feel are much more for the better, much more money into it, pretty much like that. Prince, you are going to have to take your Carrot Bars link down, and you go into freebie. Okay. And that's the link that people can register for free. The same thing. Then we plug you into the Wealth Builder training. We're doing training about this every night at 10 o'clock, where Mr. Michael Delco is coming on explaining the compensation plan. But Prince and I had to talk about this last night, and we decided it's even going to be more lucrative about what we're doing right now. It still allows us to create that residual income. And it still allows us to be able to build wealth and save in assets, and it still meets the criteria that if you have residual income, if you have residual bills, you need residual income. So the way I used to explain Carrot Bars, I've been involved in that company going on 6 years. I'm too having to learn a different platform. I'm too having to learn different things, but still free to register. Once Prince Amir puts a thing out there, we will start talking about that. But we do have a way where you can build wealth, where you can acquire assets. The name of the game hasn't changed. Like when I gone on here, it hasn't changed at all. We still want to save in gold. We still want to acquire assets. We still want to have the benefits of having our own business, especially tax benefits, and we still want to be able to lead that to other people. So if you have a team like Prince Amir and I have, I have a close to 12,000 affiliates that I had in my Carrot Bar teams all around the world. I didn't lose a single one of them. I just click one button and they transferred all over over to Freebay, and I'm still able to operate just like I'm doing right now. But I just have to get the teaching far as with that. And and for those of you who've been with us, nothing's changed. Actually, the compensation is actually going to be better. And we still, for those of you who like gold savers like us, it's still going to be available far as to that. And ladies and gentlemen, with the job market and what we're seeing happening on in the world, I don't see that letting up anytime soon.
No, absolutely.
I mean, I don't see. I guess there's a lot there's a lot of things going on. They're talking about the corona and things like that, and they're talking about the presidential race. Hey, Prince Amir, one thing I'm not hearing them talk about?
Go ahead.
How to get people back to work?
No,
I don't hear that. I hear them talking about President Donald John Trump and Senator Joe Biden, the race, the cases with the corona. I don't hear how they're going to talk about people getting back to work, getting people back in employment, getting people back to the things that happen to them, the things that's important to them. How are they going to get food on the table? How are they going to pay their bill? You say, I'm not really in the politics. I have my view on it. I mean, I'm not really into it. I mean, I don't see how they really serve my interests. They serve their interests, not mine. Either party, whatever your affiliation is, that's on you. I'm not going to knock it. But I will say to these, the most important economy and most important economy is by far the economy of your own home.
All right.
Your own home. Never take your eyes off of that. The economy of your own home. Ladies and gentlemen, you have got to get yourself in a position of financial or economic power. You have to. And you build in your life things, you put yourself in a position of financial economic power, is the fact that you have got to create a wealth stream that is apart from your job. You have to create something that pays you day or night residually, which means that you don't necessarily have to keep doing the work for the money to come in. You have got to build up residual streams of income. You must figure out a way to own your own business so that you can have control over your life. Hey, you're going to work hard for someone. You're going to work hard for someone. It might as well be you. Am I advocating, Diane, that someone would get out there and let's say, hey, go ahead and quit your job without having anything coming in? No, that would be unwise. What I am advocating, and while you have your job, build. I'm not even going to say consider building anymore because the consideration point is way past due. Build something else in addition to your work and your job that can one day replace your income. Do you know most households, the whole life of that household, Prince Amir, can be changed dramatically by people earning a mere $500 extra a month?
Yep.
You know how much that would cut down foreclosures? $500 extra a month.
What time?
I mean, if you're in $500 extra a week without working, that's $2,000 extra a month. Man, wow. That would mean something. If I could have created an extra $500 a month back when I was going, no, I'm sorry. If I could have created an extra $2,000 a month, $2,000 where I was, I would not be talking to you from Tampa, Florida now. I would be talking to you from McDonough, Georgia, 617 Sibley Circle, McDonough, Georgia, to be exact, because that's what it would have took, $310.69 for my mortgage, as well as like maybe give a couple like about 300 more for utilities. That includes waters, electricity, gas, and I could have been in my home, but I didn't have it. I couldn't create it. Okay, and so I lost that home that I paid for from 2004. I lost it in 2011, lost all that money, lost all that equity. All I just had to do is just make a mere $1,700 extra a month. And you break that down to 4 weeks, you know, I mean, it's so the financial aspect, it can either change or derail your life, depending on whether you got it or you don't. And we're seeing so much of that. You know, a lot of people, you know, for people, we just talk about the homelessness and the
oh man, for sure. I was speaking of homelessness, I was watching this morning, just catching up on what's going on in Los Angeles and San Francisco. And it's like homelessness in San Francisco and LA is getting worse by the day.
What's accelerating it?
You know what, for sure. You know what? No one has an answer. Like, I mean, you know, it's funny you mentioned that, Fitzgerald, because no one asked the question on what's accelerating it. No one asked that question, Fitzgerald. That's weird. Because I mean, some people were speaking on, you know, just the cost of rent has gone up, real estate has gone up, but the way homelessness is increasing, but no one really went in as far as to what is accelerating it. And as far as the cost of real estate going up, as far as rents and if you want to become a homeowner, how expensive it is in San Francisco and LA. I'm just saying that on my own. But it's funny you asked that, because when I was watching these specials on it, no one brought up what was causing it. It's weird, for sure. I'm gonna go back and watch a couple of those videos and see.
I can tell you what's causing it. You don't have to research it.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's being deliberately done. I mean, probably people want to come in there and go ahead and be able to charge more higher rents. They probably want to move other lower classes, lower income classes of people out and take that like the violence of gentrification. I do mean violent, because they could take homes and murder everything. That you want proof about it. You wasn't there in 1996. You wasn't there in 1996 when the Olympics happened. Because Denise used to live in the city, you know, when she was there before I moved down there. And so she told me, you know, when the Olympics was getting ready to happen, and Atlanta had the Summer Olympics 1996, they had a lower income class of people all around that stadium and everything. Man, they was rounding those people up, getting them the heck out of there. And you would think they was revitalizing the downtown area, the economy. And after they did that, you know, people like, hey, you know, I'm tired of commuting from Kennesaw. I'm tired of commuting from Stockbridge. I want to live in the city. And you know how they did? They took that. They put those rents up so high those people couldn't even stay there. Then after they started doing that, you know, they start tearing it down and building businesses up there that only the wealthy can afford. Dinesh, you remember what it used to be like on Ponce de Leon? You remember what apartments used to cost there?
But for sure, this is. But I hear what you're saying. But this is what's weird and different between LA and San Francisco and Atlanta. Like, literally, you'll be in a neighborhood where homes are selling for $800,000 to $1 million, and across the street, when you look outside your window, there will be a homeless in Tent City right across the street. So they aren't rounding these people out and putting them somewhere. Like, literally, there are tent cities all over the place.
What do you mean by tent city? Is that exactly what it sounds?
Yeah.
When you say tent city, that's exactly
a tent city of home. King Joseph is in LA right now, and he's in the chat room. He could have confirmed this. Literally, tent cities of homeless people living in tents on the beach, in parks, on sidewalks, freeway underpasses, everywhere. Because see, in Atlanta, it was kind of contained off, like they had right off of Pine Street, like it's kind of where
Marietta Avenue going to the back towards North Side Drive. When you Marietta going right down there towards CNN, you had shelters there by Centennial Park, and then by Georgia State. A lot of them, of people downtown Georgia State.
Exactly. So it's in Atlanta, it's contained like right there. In LA, it's all over the place. Like,
okay, don't they have shelters out there? Don't they have food banks out there to help people? I mean, I'm used to seeing that being a Southerner. You know, I'm used to seeing that in here. So,
but the amount of shelters they have can't provide services for the amount of homeless.
Well, I think it's being deliberately done.
But again, it's just okay. So in Atlanta, they, I guess, move the people to Jonesboro or somewhere else. In LA, they're just all over the place.
Is it because that not only Los Angeles or San Francisco or San Jose, San Monica, you have so many wealthy areas around there, but it's only so far they can move them. I mean, I don't get that. I really don't. Like, you're talking something to me I never experienced before.
Right. So King Joseph is in the chat room, and read what he said. The homeless communities are everywhere in LA. Like they're like literally cities. If Fitzgerald, when I first moved to LA, it was just on Skid Row. So I used to feed the homeless on Skid Row, and Skid Row by far was the worst I've ever seen. But now they're saying it's just all over LA now.
Okay, Dinas, I know you're a native Californian. I know that fact you were born and raised in Sacramento, California. Would you go back to live in your home state?
No, not at all. I'll just go visit my mom and come right back.
See, that's tough. But my home state is Alabama, man, and Alabama's been a lot of news. That people treat us like we're some straw chewing backwards people, but it's a lot of good people there. Plus, I kind of resent that because that's my home state. That's where I grew up. I would go back to Alabama. I would go back to Alabama, and I can feel quite fine. We didn't have that homelessness like that. I never really saw it there. I mean, I saw it when I was in Atlanta. I saw it when I used to visit New York City. I didn't see it much when I was in Buffalo, New York, because they would or when I used to go to Toronto, Canada. I mean, those cities would have programs that they would really help people get off the streets and try to get them back established. I mean, the way you guys are talking like that, man, it's like a tsunami of homelessness out there. I mean, it can't be. Is it that bad?
I mean, King Joseph, can you confirm in the chat room how bad it is? Like even Mr. Chips in Los Angeles, it is crazy. The homelessness is beyond measure. It's Fitzgerald, and they say I thought it was bad when I left in 2014. They're saying that it's gotten even worse.
Whoa! King Joseph saying the 10th homeless community. I think we're switching different. I think we're switching another way, Dinas, here on the stream today. The 10th homeless communities in Beverly Hills, very rich area, Hollywood, superficial area. The San Monica, very rich area, and all the upscale neighborhoods.
For sure, I just told you, like literally, you'll be in your $1 million house, look out your window, and there'll be a tent city across the street. It's crazy. Like I'm trying to figure out like what. Okay, somebody said it's due to immigration. The Democrats are all for unchecked immigration. Skid Row has grown. Los Angeles is gone. These are Americans who are homeless. The Mexicans are all in the service jobs.
Dinas, you might stay in this vein, man. Usually wealth building, but we can clearly see what the lack of help and resources will do to you. Right. I mean, with this particular stream right now. See, I'm used to once again, I grew up in the South and I'm still here. That's the region right. I like to be in, period. Either South or the South or Southwest, like Texas and stuff. What I'm used to seeing, like there are different shelters, different programs to help people getting on their feet. Now, when I couldn't imagine like going down to like a say like a downtown Tampa and see more homeless people there than I would see when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Lightning play. I mean, evidently this is what you guys are painting in my head. And so you would usually have one people, and I certainly wouldn't see whole families out there like that. I never seen that before. Usually the guy is out there. I rarely see a homeless ladies out there. Rarely see that, although I know it occurs. I saw that sometime in Atlanta when I was up there, not too far from Northside and 10th. Diana, man, my heart just went out to her. It really did. And but you're telling me with whole families, and man, this type of homelessness. I mean, and so, did this just start because of the COVID?
This has been going on since, because when I was in LA in 2014, it's the worst. I thought that was bad, but what I'm hearing now, they're saying it's just out of control now, and so this has been consistently going on. Like, and you get these politicians. Like, I don't want to get political. One politician came out and said, "Yeah, we're gonna raise $1 billion to exterminate homelessness in LA."
Wait a minute, exterminate? That's the wrong word to use. No. And
I'm just like, all right.
Okay.
I promise you, Joe, She came on TV. We gotta get $1 billion to exterminate homeless in LA. Homelessness in LA. And I'm just like, and when she said this like 3 years ago, I'm just like, I just don't understand how do these politicians how they get people's votes? Like, I just don't understand.
Well, wait a minute. California, that's Congresswoman Maxine Waters' territory.
Okay, Fitzgerald, I was trying to talk in code. Maxine Waters is the one that made this promise or pledge. She came out and said she's going to get $1 billion to exterminate homelessness. Her and Kamala Harris.
Oh, I forgot about Miss Senator
Harris.
Harris.
Let me pull. Hold on, I'll pull it up real quick.
And guys, while you're looking for that, and Mr. Chitz and Mr. Joseph is both to chime in. I really would like someone else to chime in addition those two. Although we appreciate the comments. This is to the audience, and especially, and even you, Dinaz. Do you see this becoming like a national problem? Do you see this spilling outside California's borders that probably creep across the nations? For example, I know a lot of people in California, and I just had a first cousin, retired Marine, him, his wife, and his wife is a native of there. They used to live in a city called Oceana, if I'm not mistaken. They just moved the heck out of there and went to Dallas, and what they could get for and got a very, very nice house in the Dallas, Texas area. And I hear many of people are moving to like a Nevada. In other words, they're getting the heck out of there. They're getting the heck out of there. And just as yesterday, I was talking to Dinaz about California. I said, I've never been there. I never have been to.
I'll tell you this, Fitzgerald. I would go to LA because I only have maybe a couple friends who are still there. One good friend, his name is Noor Nadir. He stays in Santa Monica, and another friend named Devo. I would go just to visit them, say hello to them, go to my favorite restaurants. But Fitzgerald, guess what? I think the majority of there's a ton of restaurants that are closed. So there might be some of my favorite restaurants probably don't even exist anymore. So I would really have no reason to go back to LA. Like I said, before COVID, I was planning to go to LA to visit a couple of my friends, and then there are several restaurants that I love. Jumpin' Java Kitchen is off of Ventura Boulevard. I love Vito's Pizza off of La Cienega in Santa Monica. Barbarella in Silver Lake. Barry's on 3rd. Those are my 4 restaurants that I absolutely love. And then there's a cookie spot off of Wilshire. I can't think of the name of it. Best cookies I ever had in my life. Oh, man. Best cookies I ever had in my life.
Even more so than Mrs. Fields?
Oh, best cookie you'll ever have in your life, for sure. And they have the
man, you got my mind turning, dude. How far is Sacramento from Los Angeles? I mean, your mother is doing very well over there. She's over there. Even though you and Massa over here, she hasn't felt the need to unplug. And for Sacramento, she's doing extremely well. You was raised there. Obviously, her house is paid off. I mean, it's no big deal. She's doing it. She's she's an elder like myself, and she's doing it, man. So in that case, is there such a difference between Sacramento and LA?
Yeah, but Sacramento is different between LA and San Francisco. Sacramento's different. So it's different. But LA and San Francisco, like if somebody told me right now, hey, Donnie, I'm moving to LA and San Francisco, I'll tell them good luck. Or I'll tell them for what? Like, why? Because at first it was about entertainment, acting, and if you want to get into modeling, you go to LA. But now all that's coming to Atlanta.
Mr. Chip wrote an interesting comment and coincides something you told me, Dinaz. Go to any store, and he capitalized all any, and you will see Mexicans. The whites do not want to hire blacks. It is a conspiracy. Dinaz, you made a comment to me that, and if I made so elegant paraphrase it, you made a comment to me just not too long ago, a couple of days, and I asked you about it yesterday. You said you consider LA the Mississippi of the
Mississippi West. Mississippi West.
Okay,
I'm not exaggerating, man. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. Mississippi West.
Mississippi West. Well, I know that little interesting. I know. Oh man, I don't know. It's just but now I don't know. What's the Mr. Chip put in here? What is Fitzgerald's point? Not quite sure how you're going there, Mr. Chip. So you could rephrase that in a certain way, in another way where I can, catch the meaning. Well, I guess my point would be this: create your own strong streams of residual income.
Right.
Because obviously a lot of these housings, a lot of these problems, I'm attaching economics to this. If someone is homeless, that means there's not enough money coming in. If you have to contend with a lot of say like racism, like in hiring practices, that means a lot of money is not coming in. Or even if you have money, that's just a form of demonic prejudice. And so I would still be in a position where you don't have to do business with them or ask. I don't believe in asking someone who treats me like an enemy for a job. I just don't.
Right.
No. So in that case, I got to figure out to put my own stuff together. You got to, ladies and gentlemen, I could leave here. I could leave here, in the next moment, and or I could leave here at 100 years old. My message is still be the same. You have got to get yourself independently wealthy. You have got to move towards that goal, and the job just is simply not going to do it. There's only one Kawhi Leonard I understand out there in LA, and one LeBron James. I mean, these guys who are become multi-millionaires, through their gifts of working someone else's jobs and sponsorship. But that's only them. I would highly advocate that you find ways to make money in addition to the job that you have. I would, if I was in LA right now, I tell you how I'd be thinking. Knowing how I think, I would be looking for other pastures, because I have another philosophy that was taught to me by my younger first cousin, Joe Stevens, who owns a very successful trucking company and a very, very successful real estate portfolio in Montgomery, Alabama. And he told me this. He said, "Family, I don't stay anywhere where I don't prosper." And that was an incredible short but incredible life lesson. I don't stay anywhere where I don't prosper. I don't stay with anyone who I don't prosper with.
I got to write that down.
I do not stay anywhere where I don't prosper, and I don't stay with anyone who I can't prosper with. Now that's just my philosophy. Because it's just that you look to grow, you look to elevate, and sometimes it's not you, it's the playground you're in. I really believe that. Like, I wasn't really prospering. The greatest where I prospered, it was in the South. When Atlanta, Tampa, the South, especially when I was in Atlanta. Now, I was up north. I used to have a really, really rough time. I truly believe God designates places for each and every one of us. If we're in the wrong place, we're just not going to prosper. And I believe, but once we get in that fertile ground where we're supposed to be with, I think nothing can stop us. I mean, I just believe that. And another thing, like I said, I don't stay with anyone. I don't stay with anyone who I can't prosper with. My relationship, the same with you, like it was 5-6 years ago. I had to evaluate that. I'm like, shoot, man, I can't be doing this. No, I can't be doing this. That's why I'm so reluctant, that's how I highly evaluate, who I'm in relationship with, especially who my friends are. And if I can't find the right mix, I don't have no problem being alone. I don't have no problem at all. I mean, I'm built like that. I can deal with it for the most part, but I'm not gonna stay somewhere where I don't prosper, and I'm not going to stay with someone where I don't prosper. What do you mean by prosper? Oh, you're at somewhere, you're somewhere and things just not going right for a time to time, and you're taking 2 steps backwards and leaping a half step forward. I mean, after a while, you got to really, really evaluate what you're doing. Do you advocate that we should leave LA and go to the South? No, Mr. Chips, I'm not advocating that. You sound like you are prospering there, so maybe LA is your territory. This is a personal decision, sir. No, so this is a person. I said not we don't stay anywhere where we don't prosper. We don't stay with anyone we don't prosper. And I say I. No, so that's personal to me. But it sounds like you're doing pretty dang good out there. King Joseph said LA is a bad environment for networking, doing business. Sir, I would disagree. I would disagree. What type of networking are you doing, and what type of business are you doing? That's why you will see with Prince Amir, a lot of times we advocate building an online business, building an internet business, building networking by way of online. You know, I mean, you're looking at two men who are doing that, and we're not doing as well as others. But no, I'm sorry. Prince Amir is definitely of the above average internet networker. You know, this man has contacts all over the world. All over the world, people know him. He could go into Africa, several countries, and be just as treated as well as he was in Atlanta. You know, he can come down here in Tampa and do the same thing. He can go to London, he can do the same thing. He's built a network up. You know, he's built a dynamic network, and that he can leverage that network. Part of the reasons why you know, he's been so successful with his merchandise and with his freebie business is the fact that he has that huge network that he can basically access, because your network is your net worth. You can build a network online from anywhere, sir. You know, and I firmly believe that, man. I did it when I started building this thing when I was up in Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, New York is the smallest, biggest city you'll ever live in. Just a blue collar town right on the Lake Erie. You know, just about 2 miles away from the Canadian border. But I was able, and it's in Western New York. Western New York is one of the hardest hit areas economically in the nation. But a lot of poverty there. A lot of poverty. Yet, you know, I was able to start a networking business, and I worked for a gentleman. My old boss was constantly making high six figures in that same market that people said nothing was there. No, I mean, but you know, that's his home. That's obviously his territory. He's growing there. His wife is doing very, very well there. So that was his land. That was his territory. But you can build a dynamic online network. It would from anywhere. Now, if you have a traditional businesses up in Western New York are really hurting. They're going out of business a lot, you know, and you're seeing that, but you're seeing a restaurant businesses. If I was a restaurant, maybe I would think about switching more of my orders onto DoorDash or some of these delivery services that I could get my food out. I'm seeing right now. And I think this trend is going to greatly increase. Like, say, for instance, my favorite fast food restaurant, Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. Well, Chick-fil-A in my opinion, has the best drive-in network of all restaurants, period. I mean, I love the way their system works. But, you know, now we're seeing the Burger Kings. Now we're seeing the other people, because these restaurants say, hey, I'm not closing. I'm just going to switch online. And with these apps, and I'm going to make it where I can bring the food to my customers. People have to do different business models. Supermarkets are doing it. Delivering your pet food is doing it. If you wanna, Mr. Chips or Mr. Joseph, let's just say you're very good at writing or coding or any service that you have, you know, you can do tutorials of how to do that. You can do monetize YouTube channels. You can create you a following through Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, you know, Pinterest, Reddit, Facebook, and you can sell speaking engagements online, and you can sell ebooks online, and you can make a mint. No, I'm not saying leave LA by far. No, I mean, many of people are prospering out there, I'm quite sure. But I'm just simply saying, for my philosophy, and I found it to be very true. And every time I violated, I paid for it. I do not stay anywhere where I don't prosper. Mm-hmm. I don't stay anywhere I don't prosper, and I don't stay with anyone I don't prosper. That's my personal belief, and it works for me. No, but will I knock it? Am I knocking it? Mr. Chip, I think I hear you advising to scrap the traditional business models. No, sir. And that business model is working well from you. I'm simply pointing out, stick with it. I'm simply pointing out to you that traditional business models in this age are really taking a hit, as indicative of so many of them shutting down. I mean, giant traditional business models, Lord and Taylor's, Neiman Marcus. These are gargantuan companies that have been around for a while, you know, doing bankruptcy. Look at JCPenney back a couple of years ago. I'm saying that what you need to do is consider switching your business online, the majority of it online. but therefore people order your product, your goods and services. You have an online presence that works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never sleeps, from extracting money all over the world, depending on how you set that up. FreeBay is actually a company like that. We save in gold. We deal with 149 nations. We help other people acquire assets. We help build generational wealth. We show you how to do crypto trading. That's just optional. It's free to join, or you get your one of the business packages like we had said with our carrot bars, and then we show you how to build a global residual income all from the comfort of your home. Now me, I personally feel with me, but just the way I am and the confidence that I have with me, I believe you can drop me off LA and I will thrive. I believe that. I would figure out something. If I had to go get a hot dog stand. Now, if it's that racial polarized, well, I probably wouldn't want to be there. Maybe I'd jump down to San Diego or somewhere like that, because I don't deal with racism and prejudice very well. No, I don't deal with that at all. No, so but I believe I can thrive. I just believe I'm built like that. And so it all depends on you as a person. So if you got something great, maybe you're a great stylist, maybe you're a great barber, maybe you're an incredible auto detailer. You can internet those jobs out. You can internet teaching people how to become a great auto detailer online, and you can come up with some like Mr. Chips products and sell them online. Your own waxes, your own buffers, your own things like that. And then you can write books. You can do speaking engagements, how I build a credible detail business from the ground up into a multi-million-dollar business. And you can sell your story and people pay you for speaking engagement. So that we have to look at this. We have to look at this, as far as where are we going? Because at the end of the day, and many of you have heard me say this, and if I'm wrong, please tell me, but I'm not. Like, dang, that Fitzgerald, that sound arrogant. I'm not wrong with this. When you are dealing in this nation or the nations around the world, they have but one question for you.
Do you got the money?
Only one. Do you have the money or do you not? If you answer no, they may be polite and ask you, when will you have it? That's what they care about. If you're on a job, are you producing or are you not? Well, I've been here a long time, 20 years. Are you producing now or are you not? That's what, and then once you ratchet it down to the lowest common denominator, and people take their feelings out of this, or take that like someone owe you something like that, then it's much more easy for you to synthesize and move in the direction where you need to move you and your family. Okay, if you are looking at things and you're seeing like there's a assault on jobs, if we're seeing like homelessness is rising here, you know what? It's rising all over this country. It's just not as stark it is in LA. Job losses are happening down here in Tampa, just like Atlanta and everywhere else. And so if you're looking at homelessness is starting to creep up. If you're looking at unemployment benefits, states all over this union are being stressed trying to pay these unemployment and all these things. Jobs that have slowed down in growth. Well, they say because of the virus. Yes, I hear that. But when I go to Publix, when I go to the grocery store, here's the question. Do you have the money or do you not? They don't care about that. Now, I want you to understand that. So if you know that's the denominator, what are you going to do to get it? Now, if you know all the rest of these things are tacked, and you see the internet businesses and the online business community just growing by multiply millions per a week. If you see the Elon Musk internet, the Mark Zuckerberg internet, if you see the Larry Orkinson internet, if you see all these great businesses growing, if you're seeing more people switching onto the internet platform, more people are getting food and more delivery services, internet. Listen, if you guys are out there, and I'm going to speak most of the Mr. Joseph, Mr. Chips right now, because they're the ones singing really the rocking and rolling with comments as far as that. Not that I'm discounting anyone else's, but Mr. Joseph, Mr. Chips, in here in Tampa, Florida, and you can say the same thing wherever you live, whether LA or Dynas could say the same thing in Atlanta. I see more Amazon trucks running my housing complex than I see UPS mail trucks. That wasn't even happening 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and I'm seeing Amazon. So evidently, this home thing is growing their business. This Corona thing is growing their business. So people are sitting in front of their computer or on their smartphone, like I'm right here, and they're ordering products and services. Jeff Bezos has set up, or eBay is set up, and they can have that drop shipped to your home. You can pay them with your credit card, your PayPal, your Apple Pay, your Google Pay, or your cryptocurrency account, and they're literally making money. They're literally making money from you while you're at home. So wouldn't it behoove you to maybe become an Amazon seller? Maybe open up your Freebay gold crypto account to figure out how you can tap into that regardless of where you are? No. And look at how we can access. Look at how we can access La Papa. COVID-19 is helping the end like a mofo. You are absolutely right. So being we know that's the case, then we need to look into a company like Freebay that is internet centric. I ordered this. I exchange my paper dollars in for gold. That's an asset. That's going up. All the gold I got from Carrot Bars, I still have that with me. Okay, so my wealth is still going up right there. I exchange paper dollars that's going down into something that's going up. Now with Freebay, I get into cryptocurrency. I can make a couple $100 a day sitting at my desk here doing online crypto trading. I'm leaving home now, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes I'm bored. That's why you hear me talk about public so much. I make my money from home. And when I leave home, what do I go? I get me a little thing, $1.25 Chips Ahoy cookies, something I don't supposed to get, just to get out. Because this is what I'm doing. This is how I make my living from home. And it's liberating. It's not easy. I mean, you have to be disciplined, but I don't have to get out in traffic, and I can pull with some wisdom that I'm acquiring and different ways of making wealth that I'm acquiring, and I can make sometime in a day what I used to make in a week. And would it keep going up? And so, and you can do the exact same thing too. As a matter of fact, you not only you can do the exact same thing too, you're going to have to, because Prince Diane Samir said it eloquently. It is going to come a time that your side hustle is going to be your hustle. That time is now. With all this presidential, with all this presidential race and all this COVID, man, people still need money. La Papa sounds like a lady. Okay. I honestly would love to be working from home, but in all honesty, don't have a degree to be able to understand how to do it. No. Thank you. You asked the most important question of the day. You don't need a degree to build wealth. You need a particular set of skills, like Liam Nielsen's character said on Take It, a particular set of skills. You need to learn those, and we can teach you those for free. You need to become a part of a system that you know how to access, that you can get the people. I bet you're a bubbly personality. I bet you're one of those people who really know how to talk to people. I bet you have a nice smile. And, you can use that. Those are assets. Those are more powerful than a college degree. If you want a college degree, I can send you mine. Okay. No, I'm not knocking my education. I'm grateful for my education. But my education is not the reason why I'm in the position I am. My college degree is not the reason why I'm in the position I'm in. The position I'm in right now because I found a system that builds wealth. And I found mentorships to show me how to build wealth. And I did what they told me to do by putting my personality in it. And I start talking to people one person at a time. And I start partnering with the Dinas Amirs of the world, the Michael Delcos of the world, you know, the different various aspects of people, the Chimamandus of the world, you know, and I start partnering with them. And, you know, and we started building wealth together. Now, like I said, I don't knock my education. I'm grateful for God allowing me to get that Alabama degree, but it has not served me. Everything I've gotten in that degree, you know, I didn't need it to get. Well, why did you get it? Because I was told that's what you do. You know, I'm 56 right now. When I was 16, 15, go to school, get a job, and go somewhere and work. So that's what I thought to do. Why? That's what my dad did. You know, that's what they did. They went and worked. That's what Mr. Jenkins did when he worked at Raytheon up in Massachusetts. You know, and so I want to go out there and get a job and stay on a good job and retire with a pension. It didn't work out for me like that. I kept running it. I kept doing like this. This was glass ceiling. I kept hitting it. A lot of times I was hitting because you see that little pigmentation? That was hitting it. A lot of times I was hitting it because I had an accent. A lot of time I was hitting it because I was like, hey, is it okay for me to advance like you? Now, you're just a square wheel like that. I kid you not. Just last week, I said, you know what? I got a little time on my hand. Let me go back to this store that I used to work at. And in this huge conglomerate hard goods store. You guys would know if I say the name. I'm not going to say the name. That's how I used to work there. It's seasonal thing. Man, I'm kind of bored. You know, I got time on my hand. Let me go out there and make some extra money. And you know, my carrot bar gold business is doing pretty good. Let me go out there and make some stuff like that. I went to them because I worked there, and I left very good. And they say, hey, Fitzgerald, you coming back? You know, I used to do a job. But you know what I did? I watered plants. Loaded mulch. I didn't want to be around the stress anymore. I already had dealt high power sales and all that kind. I didn't want to be around the stress. Watering plants, learn about different types of plants, almost like a Zen neighborhood to load mulch up for people or concrete blocks. So, you know, relaxing, no stress. Nobody called on me. Great. I left that job, and then I took a job, another sales job, like in March. A little bit before March, selling high impact windows. That's a very big thing down there in Florida. 6 figures. So, okay, let me do this a little while. I'm going to just settle down right here. COVID came up, lost my 6-figure job. Okay, went back and started typing my gold business up because it was growing to, you know, about 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 affiliates all over the world. You know, that I'm getting a percentage of that coming in. Creating that residual income, getting paid in euros. Let me get to my point. Go back to that same job. People like, hey, Fitzgerald, you coming back? My coworkers are smiling at me because I was a dynamite employee. You know, got along with people, you know, work well, you know. I go to my old boss, you know, and I said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah. And I said, well, I'm just going to get to the point. You know, I'd like to come back. Well, did you leave wrong? I said, no. He said, well, you're going to have to reapply again. I looked at him and the same look on my face, like I'm sewing here. Cause one thing I'm going to have to do, rest your soul, grandfather. He used to tell me you wear your emotions on your face too much, Fitzgerald. And he's absolutely right. In other words, you can see that, you know, what the way I'm feeling just by looking at expression on face. I looked at him. You mean to tell me that I got to reapply for a job I had? He said, yeah. I said, you're joking, right? Right there, that line probably eliminated me because, you know, because I don't deal with things very well like that. And so I left because, you know, I didn't want to reapply. Well, after a couple of hours, I talked to my brother who was a hiring manager at his organization. He said, well, Fitzgerald, this makes sense. I would have someone go through the sets again because I don't know if you've been on drugs. I don't know if you know, you've gotten a criminal record. I don't know what you've been, you know, being gone since May. That's March. That's a long time. So now I understood. But my point of the matter is, I felt like this, having to go back and ask for it in the first dang place. Now I can go on and look at other things. I can put myself out to the bitter, but how much can you go for that? When I can sit around here and say, you're just going out there for a job primarily because you want to get some extra or you're bored. Why don't you work your business a little bit more? Why don't you work your YouTube channel, find ways to win a little bit more? Why don't you write your book? Why don't you go out there and talk to more people? Man, dude, you can make in a 2 hours what you used to make in a whole week there. Why are you tripping? Because I had lost focus. And so this is what I'm advocating. If you want to build something, you can't wait for someone else to give it to you. I mean, that's gone. You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, they're firing people and you are doing a great job.
Yeah.
They're shut down whole departments and you're doing a wonderful job. You're not causing any trouble. You're not even asking for a 50-cent raise every year. You're not doing that. As a matter of fact, some of them telling you guys that you got to have comp time right now instead of me paying you more. Some of you are saying, well, we're going to freeze jobs and we're not hiring, but we expect the productivity to stay the same with less people. And you're cool. And your apartments are still getting shut down. And the stockbrokers and the owners are walking away richer. Don't think because these businesses closed down like, oh man, that's bad. Hey, listen, if that guy positioned himself to get that personal loan with happening with the COVID, him and his family are fine.
Right.
They can take that money and open up another business under a different name, a different tax ID. They're fine. Meanwhile, you got to go for a job. Your income is disrupted. You're sitting up there calling the mortgage man or the car man. Hey, I need more time because you don't have an income. See, because they own the system, they was able to pull equities and they were able to take advantage of things that are simply not offered to you because you don't own a business. What I'm saying to you, create your own wealth stream where you won't be in that. That's what Dynas and I do.
Right.
We have been in corporate America, and you know what? The same thing happened to us, what that happened to a lot of you, or it's happening to some of you. I wish I could get to that level. And now I'll explain that later. You get these titles: #1 salesperson, account manager, all the, master of the Poupar Janitorial Association, whatever they want to call you. Okay. and they throw you a little salary, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. I know. Let's give you 6 figures. Let's give you that $100,000. And you're thinking you're balling. We'll even throw in a car allowance. We'll even pay for your cell phone. Okay. That's not, had streams like that. But here's the thing about it. They could take it anytime they want. They could cut your territories anytime they want because it don't belong to you. So while you have those jobs and how you have those things, take advantage of that and build something on the side. And what I'm seeing for what my years of experience is showing me from working in business or just living on God's earth for a while, you need something that you own, that you can build equity, that you can leave to your children. Preferably an internet-based business where you get a home-based business where you can have the exact same tax breaks as the other business owner, but you don't have the expenses that they have. You can work out of home. You can work from a cell phone. See, this is called a smartphone for a reason. You know what makes it smart? It's making you money. If it's not making you money, what type of phone is it then? I'll let you figure that out. Okay. This thing is supposed to make you money. You don't have all these apps at your hands to see, did the Clippers win or the hockey team win, or what your favorite basketball players did win. Sports is a business. That's their business. The Kardashians, that's their business, and their business is to get you to watch them. You're supposed to use this. Okay, how can I design this app? How can I do a Facebook Live to draw people to my channel? How can I create a product? How can I set up something that people would buy? How can I get brand awareness? How can I put like Lola Loves fragrances? No, and how can I contact someone to build me a certain fragrance where I can market that on the internet, and where I don't have to keep the fragrances in my house. I can have them drop shipped. I can have them drop ship to my customers and I can sell those along the line. What's the market? How can I create a janitorial business? How can I go on YouTube and see what's creating a janitorial business? How can I do that? I have a friend whose wife does that, and she's by herself up there in Canada, by herself working in business because her husband works at his job. She made like $70,000 last year off a one-woman janitorial business, cleaning houses, and they own 2 houses. So this is what you use the phone for. How can I design my website? How can I go out there and how can I go out there and get a business, put something together, my detailing company, my janitorial company, and how can I hire young black men or black single mothers in my group to help them come up and talk to them about principles like this, turn them on to Amir and Fitzgerald, or put something on. See, this is what I'm talking about. Someone has to make it. Someone has to make it. You know, guys, it is incredible talking to you. You know, and we're gonna get ready to land this plane. And matter of fact, the landing gear is out. And but understand this, as Warren Buffett has said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. No exceptions. As Prince Dinah Samir would say, titles are not sexy, income is. As Mr. Michael Delco would say, if you don't come from a wealthy family needs to come from you. Do you know that the Holy Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children? That's grandchildren. In other words, you don't have a financial plan that includes at least 2 generations. It said a good man leaves an inheritance. So you can reverse it. If you're not doing that. You'll never do that if you don't avail yourself to financial education. You'll never avail yourself if you don't read books and you don't get around people who are already doing it. You'll think it's impossible because it'll be yourself. You don't build great wealth alone. You don't build a great business alone. You need help. No, I never met anyone who built a great business alone. They had great people and they took care of them and they made sure they was paid very well. That's how they do it. And Fitzgerald Stevens would say, if you don't make moves, moves will be made on you. We are where we are because of decisions we make, because our inability to act or our lack of ability to act. That's going to determine where we are. And at the end of the day, it's up to you. People listen to you. Relatives can let you stay at their house for so long. They might say it's okay, but after a while, they're going to want their place back. Friends can lend you money. They'll help you out. I've had to borrow money from friends and I pay them. They can only do that so long. Why? Because they got their own needs. You've got to figure out a way to create your own, something that you and your family own, something, man, sir, that you die and we're going to leave this earth. I'm going to put it in terms you really can understand. I'm not going to say expire or go into another place. If you die, if you're no longer here, your business needs to go right over to your child or your children, and they don't need to miss a beat. And they don't need to worry about how they're going to keep the house or what they're going to do or how they're going to pay for school. A life insurance policy is only paying you for one time. I'm talking about creating a residual income, that the income that you build that you could transfer over to your children. I'm talking about the business that you built, you could transfer over your children. And if you have done it right and taught them financial intelligence like you're being taught, they will keep it and it will keep going down in your line. That's the goal. What is it, Prince? $2 trillion of wealth?
Allegedly. Spending
$2 trillion of wealth, and it's projected by 2050 or maybe even sooner that black wealth will be zero in this country.
Right.
And the way it's going right now, it's not too far behind. Let's don't put race in it. Let's put race in it. Jeff Bezos, $200 billion, one man. Bill Gates, about $100 billion, one man. That's $300 billion right there. Oh, let's throw Mark Zuckerberg, about $100 billion for Facebook. I can't forget about Elon Musk from Tesla, $100 million. 2111. Okay, that's $5 billion. So you're telling me five guys have 1/4 of what the entire black community has? 5 men. Oh, let that sink in. I really want you to let that sink in. They're all business owners. Each and every one of those guys can cash Michael Jordan's, Oprah Winfrey's, and Tyler Perry check and make change. And those all billionaires themselves. Mm-hmm. We got to get serious about this thing. We got to get serious about this thing of building wealth. Forget your marching. Forget your marches around there. Forget your protests. You know how you protest economically? You pull your money away, but you got to have money to pull it away. So I believe that, and I believe that with every fiber of my being. And I will tell this to people who want to know, and particularly our young people, because it's a form of child abuse. To teach your child to go out there and work on someone else's system for 20 and 30 years and die broke, you know, and die in a way that they could possibly have nothing to leave. It's child abuse. So we have a thing about with Freebay, saving in gold, you know, learning how to trade. That's part of financial education. You know, I mean, multiply, millions of people are going to be made into millionaires. And I said millions are going to be made into millionaires just like off of trading. But definitely with getting the home-based business and stuff. So go ahead and register your account. But what Prince Amir, you would have to go in his Freebay account.
Yeah. Actually, I put the.
Okay. And then we'll get to work. And then then you say, well, I don't know. What do I do? Be on tonight's training at 10 o'clock. GoldRocks.info. And then contact me, 716-573-6296. That's 1-716-573-6296. That'll ring right here. I'll give you the password. And you say, well, Fitzgerald, what it's all about? Hey, get on tonight's training, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's going to tell you. What are they going to tell you? They're going to tell you exactly how to build wealth, exactly what this is all about, and exactly how you're going to get running. And you know, and you can build that off of just as far as your talents take you. So we've been a little long. You know, I just get so passionate about it because I'm tired of seeing people hurt out here, man. I'm tired of seeing single mothers running how they're going to feed children. I'm tired of seeing single fathers, wondering who's going to go to babysit his kids. Or I'm just tired of seeing family just fight over money. I'm tired of seeing the divorce rate goes up over money, the distress that, you know, what it's doing. I'm tired of seeing people being sick and can't afford health care. You know, I'm tired of all that stuff, but someone has to make some money, and someone has to make some money in order to be able to and teach other people how to make money. Someone has to be able to set other people free. Let it be you. Join with Prince Amir and I. You know, we'll be happy to help you. If it's not for you, great. Do something that fits the parameter of what I said. Do something. You owe your family and that. You owe you and your family that. Prince Amir, man, I'm going to get ready to go out here. That lasagna smelling and looking good. You know, and everything. So, ain't no sense of me lying. Ain't no sense of me saying, hey, I got things to do. Yeah, I'm looking at lasagna right there. You know, that's what I got to do. You know, but I appreciate you give people, hey, we're here for you. Just give us a call. Dot Acid Amir and I, we started out doing that. And we used our friendship and we said, hey, besides talking about Alabama football.
Well, we're going to beat you guys October 17th, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah. Besides talking about Alabama football and Georgia football, those are both respective colleges we graduated from, it occurred to us that, man, they're not putting any money in our pocket. You know, we 15 years. And probably about 13 and a half, or I could even say just last year, we really started talking serious business. Right. We started growing wealth together. I asked, where in the heck we would have been, man, if we would have did that 15 years? Well, we had been if we would have put our talents together.
Right.
Well, what did we have been? So talk for betterment. Talk to elevate you. You know, and talk to get around people who are talking what you're doing. Forget about people talking about, hitting a dime bag. Is that what they call a nickel bag? What they call it? Forget about people talking about, hey man, check out this Facebook video right here. And you see two females just slapping a wig off each other and all that. Forget about that's not putting money in your pocket. Forget about this guy, on World Star jumping out a window because he trying to roll up on another man's wife, and that man going to put a hole in his heart, like as he should. Forget that. That's not doing anything for you. Get around people who are talking about wealth, who are talking about business principles, who are showing you how to do it, who are showing you how to put things together, who are teaching you about LLCs, incorporating, who are teaching you to start businesses, who are teaching you marketing, who are teaching you search engine optimization, who are teaching you how to save in gold and assets and to build wealth. That's the guys I'm hanging around. At 56, I don't have time to waste. And nor do you. I don't care if you're 26 or 16. You need to create your own business where you can have options in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. King Joseph, I'm glad, man, we entertained you, brother. You said King Joseph said we are funny, man. So I'm glad we all said something to make you laugh. But you know what? It can be laughing, you know, but it's serious business. It's serious business. And you know what? And we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Diane, I'm going to probably continue this thing, not necessarily this way, but continue it on my show. Find ways to win. I'll probably do a video about about an hour from now.
Okay.
So I'll talk about this and just let a little bit. Maybe I'll even change shirts.
With that being said, guys, make sure you subscribe to Brother Fitzgerald Stevens' YouTube channel. Find ways to win. Find ways to win. That's the number 2. Find ways. The number 2 win. So guys, make sure you guys go and subscribe so we get Brother Fitzgerald's subscriber count up. Everyone. So with that being said, guys, my affiliate links in the chat room is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It will also be in the description. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.